Hey Andy,
Hi, yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You all right?
I'm very good indeed, thank you.
How
Yes,
was your Christmas?
it was lovely, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I mean, managed to get to see my girls and my grandkids, which was lovely.
Good.
Yeah, and then just spent the day, Boxing Day, my birthday, just chilling out with some friends in the evening, which was rather nice.
Yeah, that's
How
nice.
about you?
It was nice. I was with my family as I am every year. There
Yeah,
was a lot of food as per usual.
yes.
So
I think I have a food baby coming.
yeah, I'm hitting the weights again next week. I've given myself a break this week from healthy living.
Yeah, I know. We have to every now and then, don't we? I mean, let's be honest. Christmas is just nice to indulge a little bit. So I don't celebrate Christmas as such, but the
Yeah.
period itself, yeah, chocolates, cakes, mince
Yeah,
pies.
yeah. That's what Christmas is for me, spending time with my family,
Yeah,
and eating as much as I can, whatever I want. Because otherwise, during the year, I'm very strict.
yeah,
I don't eat cakes during the year.
yeah. No,
So,
and I've been very lucky in a way because obviously, like you know, the band's off the roads at the moment. So I mean, I've been
oh
very lucky.
yeah,
Friend of mine has lent me a house while she's in Spain. So it's been one of those. It's been quite nice sitting there going, oh, yes, what shall I have now? Eat now, and put the TV on, watch a movie, and all that stuff.
good, good. So let's talk about fighting the system.
Oh, let's not.
Let's not. Okay, whatever you say. Because,
No.
I had a conversation with a guy at the market this morning, and he was telling me about, the shortage of eggs and the shortage of milk that we had some time ago. To be honest, I don't know anything about this stuff because I don't watch the news.
No.
But I said to him, it's the system's fault for doing what it's doing, but it's our fault for not fighting back. And you
100%.
can you can see in his eyes that something clicked. People don't realize how simple the solution is. They just, I don't know, is it because they don't they don't know, but how do you how do you realize that you have to educate yourself? And
Um,
how do you and the thing is, you can't sell something to someone if they don't want to buy it.
exactly. It's like the old age-old adage: you can lead a horse to water if you can't force it to drink. Or words to the
Yeah,
effect.
yeah,
Same thing. People are on a journey. That's why I look at it. I mean, it's taken me 18 months, I think 2 years to get to where I am now. And I still have conversations with people and they go, no, the government wouldn't do that to you. The government wouldn't do this. I said,
yeah,
really? How do you know? I said, ask your question, why are they
yeah,
doing this? And it's true. I mean, I am aware of what comes in because I always keep my peripheral radar going and say, what's okay, what are they talking about now? Okay, so now I need to say to people, stop talking about that, you're going to create it. But it's for me, the start is you,
yeah,
not the sheep, obviously, but the
yeah,
individual.
yeah.
And that's why I did a video, pay attention to what you're paying attention to on YouTube, because it's so relevant to what's going on. The fact that we are paying attention to everything outside of us, but not paying attention to internally.
Well, they create a lot of distractions for
Of course
that
it is.
reason.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
you pay attention to everything that's coming your way, but you don't pay attention to the important stuff. I was someone the World Cup was on TV recently, and I don't watch it anymore, but someone was saying it was very unusual that it was during the winter. And I was wondering, I wonder why that is. What are they trying to distract us from again? And the adverts all the time about, cost of living, and we're going to help you to, reduce cost of this and cost of that. And it's funny how they always create a problem and then a solution.
Yeah, because the way they're doing it, the bit you're missing out in the middle is the reaction.
Yeah,
Problem, reaction, solution, or
yeah.
reaction, problem, solution, whichever way they want to do it.
So they've
So that's,
created a problem.
yeah,
Well, this
we
is what
react to it.
happened. Yeah, this is what happened with so many things, 9/11, COVID. Um, yeah. And people, I don't think they they don't see it. They don't want to
No.
learn.
It's again, I always use the anagram, whatever you call it. You have eyes to see and ears to hear, but sometimes you choose not to use either.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use cognitive dissonance. They're just blinkered.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy in my life. I love all my trappings. I love all my posh cars and God knows what else. They love all the trappings of it. And it is literally that. It's a trap. You're trapped into the cage, and that's where they keep.
And when you think about it, if you decide to educate yourself and to wake up, the solution is pretty simple, because the only weapon they have against us is fear.
Yeah. And this is what all these distractions are about.
Yeah.
It's to put the fear of God into you and think, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to deal with this. Or you're worried about a piece of paper coming through the letterbox. And I know we've had discussions as well. But it's a lot of people have to understand themselves and say, well, actually, I am not that name.
Yeah.
And when, like you say, when you detract the name, it's when the fun begins, because you don't trap yourself.
No.
You don't because at the moment, everything I look at with the offers, they're throwing out their fishing line, and they're doing this, they're reeling you in. So now we've got to cut that fishing line and say, we're free maybe. But the problem is, with the fear and distraction, it's an energy harvest. They're keeping you in that frequency, as we both know, and it's just draining your energy, because that's what they want. If we can lift ourselves above the fear, they can't touch us, because we'll come straight from source love then. Yeah,
and the thing is, whatever frequency you're generating, that's why you attract. And this is what people don't understand. But in order to vibrate in high frequency, it takes a lot of work and a lot of practice. And I know this from experience. And the thing is, people don't want to do the work. Isn't it that funny? They don't want to live in fear, but they don't want to do the work. So how do you, and again, how do you convince someone that life can be better if you let go of fear, if they don't want to listen?
It's a difficult one to answer, because everyone's individual. We're all unique, but everyone's on a different journey. We can only, when all this kicked off with Divock and all this lot, I always say Divock is the other way around. When all this kicked off, everyone was going around saying, yeah, we've got to wake everybody up. No, that's wrong. You only have to wake yourself up. Yeah. You have to be aware. And then you can sow the seeds to the masses out there. Yeah. I do it in the coffee shop every time I'm in there. I've talked to people, and they go, what do you do? I said, I'm just an empowerment talker. They go, what's that all about? I said, I just help people understand that they don't have to play the system. They go, what do you mean play the system? I said, well, here's my card. If you want to have a talk about it, give me a shout. And I'll just leave them do it. And they just look at you and say, what are you talking about? And then they come back to you and they say, have a chat with you. They go, so what is it you do? I said, I don't do anything. I said, I don't conform to the system. I do what I want to do on a daily basis. I wake up in the morning, look at the weather, yeah, let's go for a walk. Let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this. No one gives me and tells me what to do. And he went, well, how do I get there? I said, well, who are you? And he gave me his full name. I said, unfortunately, you're not understanding who you actually really are. And he said, well, no, that's the name I was given at birth. It was given to you. Yeah. Is that you? And he went, you just saw that light bulb moment. He went, wow, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. I said, if you do your research, I said, here's my website. Go and have a look at, know your straw man. Just have a look at that. It's on YouTube, whatever. Go and watch it. And he went, okay. I saw him yesterday and he went, oh my God, we've been lied to. Yeah. I remember when I realized, I can't remember how I found out, but I suppose I was ready to receive the information and the universe just sent it to me, about paying bills and tax. So everything is on offer. Yeah. And I thought to myself, hold on a minute, I'm not legally required to pay bills and tax. Because once I transition into self-employment, mm-hmm. They can kiss my bottom. I'm not paying any tax. And the thing is, they can't force you. And again, everything comes to fear when they send all these letters, we're going to come and take your stuff away. I had a letter from the council saying that they're going to 48-hour notice, if you remember. Yeah. They're going to come and take my stuff away. Well, they sent the letter, the letter was dated a week before I received it. No one ever came. It's like they're the school bullies. They're the biggest cowards on the planet. I was bullied at school and I stood up to them in the end and they backed down. And it's what we have to do. We're being suppressed, and that's the problem. And it's down to the name.
Yeah.
It's how they told us that name is you.
Yeah.
And like I say, you've done brilliantly with this. And that's where I always look at with the offers, like you say, it is purely everything in life is an offer.
Yeah.
And if you handle everything as an offer, you can have a lot of fun. I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, I'm having so much fun with these idiots. How can you claim that you provide, for example, the energy companies, how can you claim that you supply energy when you can't prove it?
Exactly. And that's a simple solution for the utilities at the moment is ask them a question. Can you claim to be providing me energy? Can you show me the evidence that you're generating it and providing it, please? And I'll tell you what, they cannot answer that question.
No. And then they start with the bullying.
Yeah, they'll come through. Well, actually, we are your providers. No, actually, you're just a credit broker. That's all you are.
Because I found on National Grid website that electricity is £20 per household.
Yeah.
I heard something. I heard something similar about the gas, but I couldn't find the information for some reason. So the thing is, if I can find this information, everybody else can. So it is available.
The way the system works, it's like everything. It's all based on scripture. It's all based on giving you every opportunity to remedy it yourself. Okay, so they have to put the remedies out there because it's karmic. I mean, we all know what karma can do in spiritual world. So they have to give you the free will to research, not understand, whatever you want to call it, and then accept or counter offer. But £20 per household is right. Because that's
I'm happy to pay £20 per for whatever I'm using. I'm honestly happy.
Well, no, that's not what you're using. The £20 goes to the upkeep.
All right, yeah.
I think at the end of the energy, as we know, is free. They're just providing a service of ensuring that the electricity flows. That's all it is. They get paid trillions of pounds or billions of pounds or whatever. I've got no evidence on that for obvious reasons, but they get paid contracts for 30, 40, 50 years to keep those lines running.
Yeah.
And that's why when you look at the map that the National Grid do of the loop of the pylons, they never break the loop.
Yeah.
And they always build houses around pylons. They don't move a pylon for a housing estate. They build everything around it because they can't break that loop. It's Tesla's design.
Yeah. And also what amuses me is that the prices of everything really keep going up, but you don't get anything additional for what you're paying. So if I'm paying, I don't know, let's say £1,000 a month for gas and electricity, it's the same gas and electricity. It's the same quality as, last year. I don't get a gold coin with it. I don't get a silver coin. I don't get a massage. I don't get anything.
No, nothing.
It's like, there is this tea that I like to buy from Tesco. It used to be £2.20, it's now £3.50. There is absolutely nothing different about that tea.
They'll blame the rise in fuel prices. They'll blame the rise in the cost of living. They'll blame the rise in energy. They'll blame the rise in wages. Really? Does it still cost exactly the same to package that tea in the same machine? Are you telling me that an increase of maybe 0.1 of a penny per hour is going to damage your profits? And that's what it's all about. It's literally greed.
Of course. Yeah, it's greed.
I mean, I was walking around Tesco the other day. I thought I've got to have a nosy, see what everybody's doing. And I was looking at things, and literally within a week, things have gone up by 40, 50p.
Yeah.
Yet people are still happy to pay that because they just presume they have to pay it.
Yeah.
Isn't that just an offer?
It is.
Rack it up and say, oh, look, I've only got 50 quid. Can you accept a discount? Ask some questions. That's what I do.
I didn't. Actually, I'm not familiar with this. I remember when, was it Costa or Starbucks? I don't know. They decided that they will go cashless. And someone was posted on Facebook that they got, so they made an offer 3 times. They had cash. Yeah. They made an offer 3 times and they got the coffee for free. How does that work? It's
scripture. It's based when Peter was tested 3 times by Jesus. So it's based on contract law. They offer 3 times. And if there's no agreement at the end of a contractual offer, then it goes into a stalemate, deadlock. So therefore, there is no agreement. There can never be an agreement because you've not agreed tacitly to. So, like if you buy a house, you might want to go and buy £100,000. Oh, that's a bit cheap these days, isn't it? £500,000 house, but you haven't got the money for that. But you make an offer. So that's your first offer. They come back with a counter offer. You go back with the second offer. They go back third. But at that point, they'll get to the point of, well, I'm sorry, we're not going to go any further because we cannot get to an agreement, meeting of the minds and agreement in process. And that's the same thing with everything we do with shops. It's literally enough. I mean, you know the story when I got my coffee for a penny at Costa.
Yeah.
I offered it to them. They refused it, so I took the coffee. And I've done the same thing with petrol, and I've done the same thing with food. I've made an offer, and I've spoken to the manager on the food in Asda and Andover. And I offered him 3 times, and he went, "Yeah, all right, I'll give you a discount." He knows that if you ask for a discount, and you say, "Look," and you can see the queue building. I always do it when the shop's full.
Yeah.
And then I make an offer, and then they get rid of you. They'll give you. He'll usually give you manager's discount 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll take some money off you and they say, "Okay, could you pay us later?" And say, "Well, I'll make every effort to come back and pay you more money." And at the end of the day, you can do that if you want to. That's an offer.
Very simple. Yeah, but you need to have balls to do this. You know, people don't have balls.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do it, by the way. I mean, you know, I'm more than happy to do it. But if I can take the council, if I can take the state agency for their nonsense, Tesco's is not going to be a problem.
No, but this is it. You've got to have the confidence in dealing with this. I mean, I've seen you grow so much over since we first started working, and you literally blossomed into this. Do you know what? I'm having fun with it, and it doesn't. You still get the little bit of anxiety and fear. I do know that, but it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're now realizing how powerful you actually are.
Yeah.
We have the authority to do what
we
want.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it took me a long time to get here, but I don't mind doing the work. And I have noticed that meditation definitely helps with dealing with fear and anxiety.
Yes.
Not so much anxiety as fear, but it is possible. You know, the thing is, if I can do it, everybody else can do it. And I see that, you know, on your Telegram groups and on the Zoom calls, people are fighting back. You know, compare the current situation with what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
People are not having it anymore. They're fighting back.
Well, it's because I still firmly believe, or belief is temporary. I know we've won the spiritual war. We won it.
Yeah.
So the generals, the majors are all taken out of position now. So all we've now got is the sergeants, the colonels, or whatever they are.
The minions.
And they're all running around the headless chickens going, let's throw that at them. Let's do this. And that's, I mean, like the stuff that's coming out now, I'm just looking at it, really? But it's now making more and more people aware of the current situation. I mean, like in Oxford, they're trying to make that a 15-minute city. And they've started do you see on the news, they started putting these wooden boxes in the place to slow traffic down. The residents said no. They took them apart and burnt them. I thought,
I did know that.
Yeah, no. In a couple of streets in Oxford, they actually took them apart because they're made out of wooden pallets when they just set fire to them. They said, no, we're not having this. But then there's a group on van lifers, and someone shared a post with me the other day about Oxford, and they go, oh yes, well I think it's really good that we should have this. I went, really? You like being a slave?
Yeah.
You like being controlled? And they went, what do you mean? I said, well, they're controlling your life. No one has the right to tell you when and where you can go to. So, but it's their system. We play by the rules. So, but if we break the rules, we have to take whatever comes at us, but we can deal with that. But no one should ever tell you where you can and can't go. And they went, oh, and I got, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And I went, yeah, okay. Enjoy, and left the chat. So I thought these people are just too close-minded.
Yeah. Let them live in their own little world, and
they think their electric cars are helping the planet. Yeah, in America, I was watching something on YouTube this morning. In America, there's all these people with their Teslas, and they said we can't start our cars.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
They're now freezing in their own cars.
Well, the whole environmental agenda, whatever you want to call it, it's another problem reaction solution. It's another way for them to make money to control us. And this is not, and I hate when someone says, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. What is it? Look at the facts. Look what's going on. Put your glasses on, in that, like in that film.
Take the blindfold off and have a look.
Yeah, and see what happens. I mean, Sadiq Khan has been doing it in London for years. It wasn't so obvious because the way they do things, and when I say they, you know who I mean, they introduce it sort of slowly, bit by bit, because if they tell you everything in one go, people will be really shocked and they will probably rise up.
Yeah.
And but I did find a document actually, I can't remember where, somewhere on Google. I think it was the Rockefeller Institute. The document was published 20-something years ago. Everything that is happening right now, it was in that document. And what I know, as far as I know, they believe in karma. So they tell us what they're going to do it's in the movies.
Yeah, everything has to be in plain sight.
Yeah, and if we don't do anything about it, karma sits with us.
Yes.
So obviously, I can't do anything for others, but I can do something for me. So, which is why I rise up. And what are they going to do? Nothing.
Nothing. This is it. It's when you look behind the scenes of how this is all started, when you really get into the nitty gritty of who creates all this and who runs all this, people scream at you, you can't say that, but it's true.
Yes,
I'm going to say it's the Jesuit order. They are the ones who are controlling everything. And it's a little province that's out in the Middle East. It begins with I. They're the ones that control everything. And a lot of people say, oh, you're a denier of what. Obviously, I'm being careful of words on here. You're a denier of what happened in the Second World War. I went, no, I'm not denying something happened, but you've been lied to.
Yeah.
So look at the research. Look at the facts. Go and look at it for yourself. Remember, history is his story, and they're going to continue narrating something for you to believe in.
Yeah.
Create your own story. Narrate your own story.
Yeah, create your own history.
Be your own author.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's so simple. That's and I'm trying not to get frustrated. I'm trying really hard not to get frustrated because it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because the solution is so simple, but people doesn't seem to get it. They're too busy. They're too busy worrying about bills and Christmas. Obviously, it's an expensive time of the year, and everything else. And how do you wake people up? Slowly, I suppose.
That's it. This is why. Look what's coming out. I mean, like I said, I'm aware of stuff coming out at the moment, and stuff is being drip fed into the system. The truth being drip fed into the system. But they can't release it all at once because it'll tip so many people over the edge.
Yeah.
They say, oh my God, I can't cope with this, and you'll see a lot more deaths or whatever. So I firmly believe that people are becoming more aware. They are becoming more awake, if you want to talk it that way. But it's a slow process. I still think we've got 2 to 3 years of this shit show to continue. But it's getting better and better and better as the months go on. Yes, they're now talking, climate lockdowns, really. Well, go through history. In 1960s, you said this was going to happen. In 10 years, never happened. And you look at it and nothing's ever changed. I mean, I like watching on YouTube a group called The Outsiders, which is Sky News Australia.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they're just hilarious. Because they are news reporters. There's a great one about sea levels rising. They go, right, you said, we've got some terrible news for you. So we've got evidence that the sea is rising. And he showed a picture of 1915 of this Martello Tower in Sydney Harbour or wherever it was. And they showed the tide mark. He said, and here's it today. So I said, look, it's crept up by at least 0.5 millimetre. He said, so global warming's real, folks.
Yeah, it's good to look at it, from the funny side, because I read somewhere that, I mean, I know that that the universe is changing, the planet is changing, so are we. The temperature rose up with 4 degrees in the last, I don't know how many years, and nobody's going to die.
No one. And global warming, climate change, wherever you call it, is a naturally occurring event. It's based on the sun's power.
Yeah.
Natural. We can't speed it up. We can't make it go. And all this nonsense about carbon dioxide being, oh, it's heating the planet. It's not. Carbon dioxide is the gas of life.
Yeah.
We need it. The trees need it. The whole planet needs it. So when they're saying they want to be carbon neutral, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Yeah. Well, they're trying the carbon dioxide they're trying to get rid of is us, if you ask me.
Yeah. We're the carbon that they want to get rid of. But going back to the original, how do you wake people up? It's very difficult at this moment in time. There's a lot of people who are digging their heels in because that's the journey they've signed up to from up there. That's their contract. But we can sow seeds. And it's basically all I do all along. I mean, I sow seeds about flat Earth. I sow seeds about NASA. I sow seeds about everything. Just have fun.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then you see, they go, oh, you're saying we never landed on the moon. I said, well, where's the evidence we have? I said, who went back for the poor cameraman that sat there and went like that when it left the moon? So is he still there?
Yeah. I always say to people, I will believe that the moon is the moon when I go there and I see it with my own eyes.
Exactly. And this is when a lot of people share all these videos and everything. They go, oh, look what's happened here. Look, I go, did you see it for real? Did you see it with your own eyes? Because the truth can only be seen by thine own eyes.
Yeah.
So it's just, people have got to stop paying attention to the fearful.
Yeah.
If you step back, and we know through breath work and everything else, take a step and take a huge deep breath and hold it, and it calms the mind, and then you think, surely that's not right. Let spirit talk to you. Let your gut tell you it's right or wrong. That's what I look at. I always have fun with that. Yeah,
and that's again part of the programming. I keep repeating myself, but it is part of the programming. You always rely on external help to sort out your problems. You know, if you're ill, you go to the doctor. If you have a emotional problem, you pray to God. If you need food, you go to the supermarket. If you need money, you go to the bank. And the thing, we can create our own magic. We just have to learn how to do it, and it's not difficult.
I mean, there's sayings like "you are what you eat."
Yeah.
We all know through nutrition. I mean, the body, the spirit in the body here has everything it needs to heal itself. We can command things to be healed. We can do whatever we need, but it's understanding how we do that. And this is what they don't want us to know, because our minds are one of the most powerful things in the world. It is one of the most powerful weapons that we can use.
Yes.
But the most powerful one we can use against them is the love. But when it comes to nutrition and all that stuff, it's unraveling everything we've learned. So yes, I feel really I've got to go to the doctor. No, you don't. Go to nature and get nature to heal you. There's so many remedies out there. We know that. My daughter was ill over Christmas. She had the flu. And she said to me, oh, Dad, Lemsip's not knocking on. I said, well, no, it won't. I said, that will just suppress it. I said, paracetamol just suppresses stuff. And she said, well, what do I do? I said, well, here you go. Here's some lemons. Okay, for a Christmas present, she had some lemons, some ginger, and honey. And I said to her, grate a bit of ginger, put some honey in there, and cut lemons in hot water, and just drink it. I said, and also gave some echinacea. And she went, a couple of days, what's the day, 30th? 27th, she messaged me, she went, wow, I feel so much better. I said, it's natural.
Yeah, I use essential oils for everything. I haven't had a cold in years, but years ago, I remember I had runny nose. And you know, when it starts, it just doesn't stop. And I used frankincense essential oil, and my nose stopped leaking in 2 days.
Yeah. I know. I went to bed last night and I didn't feel unwell last night. I thought, what's going on here? So I sat with it. And I thought, no, okay. And I started doing my affirmations through it. So I was, no, I am healthy, etc., etc. Now we've got someone, it's gone.
Yeah. You have to listen to your body, you know. Your body is talking to you all the time, but we don't seem to listen to it.
No, we don't.
We don't know how. That's the other thing. We have been just suppressed and, brainwashed not to listen to our intuition, to our body, to our mind. Not to mention that we have been poisoned with all sorts of stuff. And water, toiletries, the air that we're breathing, that's all with the idea to poison us and to suppress our pineal gland, which is what gives us the ability to manifest and create our own magic.
I know. I mean, why do we need things like deodorants? Yeah, because you don't need to smell. Well, is that just because someone said the human body odor is disgusting and everybody now thinks it's disgusting? I mean, no disrespect, why do women always have to shave their legs and everything? Because society says you should.
Yeah. I was wondering about this. Am I being programmed to have hair on my legs, or is it natural? Is it part of the matrix, women to spend so much time?
Yeah. I mean, people can do what they like. I mean, I will never judge anyone, but when you see the false lips and all this, like, you think, why are you trying? What are you trying to do? And they go, oh, I'm not really, really attractive. So, well, are you not attractive enough without that? Well, no. So you can't look in the mirror and say you love yourself.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, the answer comes back, well, no. So I don't like what I see. So, well, you need to like what you see. You need to love what you see. I said, because having lip fillers does not make you any more attractive.
No, and that's another thing. We've never been taught at school or by our parents to love yourself, to, heal yourself, to be proud with yourself. It's always, your parents have to be proud with you, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but you have to impress your teachers, you have to impress your friends at school, you have to impress your spouse, blah, blah, blah. Well, when are you going to impress yourself?
Exactly. That's what it's all about. The most important man or woman on this planet is me and yourself. And that's when you understand that nothing can touch you, literally nothing can touch you. I mean, we manifest everything we see every day. Everything's out there. We're manifesting it right now.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said earlier, we create a lot of things ourselves as well. So when people say, "Oh God, the bailiffs are coming to my door," you just ask them to come to your door.
Yes. Yeah.
The police are going to stop me if I go over 80 miles an hour over. Well, yeah, of course they will. Now you're going to see a police car, you're going to make yourself look that way, and they're going to think, "Oh, suspicious car," and then they go and follow you. But if you just live your life with no fear and no worried about, am I going to get pulled over? What am I going to do? No, just live, enjoy. But unfortunately, like we've been talking about, it's the fear and the indoctrination that keeps us in that negative state about what could happen.
Yeah.
Don't think about what could happen. Make something happen. Make it beautiful. I mean, I've seen people manipulate the weather. I mean, it's it's phenomenal.
Yeah. It is true. Yeah, that's another conspiracy theory. Funny how all conspiracy theories became conspiracy facts.
Exactly. Yeah. And they can't deny that now because it's been proved.
No, yeah. We were right the whole time.
Oh God, aren't we? We're always right because we trust our intuition. We trust our gut instinct.
And it's not about, because the ego always wants to be right. And it's not I'm right. It doesn't come from the ego. It comes from a good place. It comes from a place of love and truth.
Yeah. I mean, some people say to me, "Oh, you need to get rid of your ego." But I've got to the point now, no, you don't. You got to learn to live with your ego. You got to learn to control the ego. Your ego is there to be balanced. It's the yin and the yang, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can't have the good without the bad. You can't have the dark without the light.
Exactly.
So it's got to be there. So getting rid of your ego is not really a good idea to do. I don't think so anyway. No,
I don't think. I like to say step away from your ego instead of shutting it down, because you can't shut it down. It's part of you.
Yeah, it's there. It's like the old movies. You have an angel on one side and you have a devil on the other. That's basically what it is. You've got the good and the bad, and you've got to learn to discern which one's best for you.
Yeah, but again, if people don't realize this, but I think people are realizing it slowly. They are realizing it, and it's it's better late than never.
And it's down to a simple word: presumption.
Yeah.
It gets us into trouble every single time. We automatically presume when something comes to the door, it's for us. We presume we have to pay it. We presume we got this, and it's how it works. It's how they've kept us in. If you suddenly realize it, actually, no, I don't. Here's my counter offer.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember when I realized, I think you told me, I can't remember, when you moved into a property, for example, when you receive letters from the energy company or the water company, whatever, and it's addressed to the occupier. So when I saw it for the first time, the way I translated it, the occupier is the person who's occupying the property. So that will be me. But I'm a living woman. I'm not an occupier. And it's a teeny tiny difference in the wording that makes you realize, oh, hold on a minute, that's not me. My name is not the occupier, you know, because when you send someone a letter, you put your name on it so they know that it's for you. So my name is not the occupier.
No, exactly. I feel sorry for the poor child who's been called the occupier by their parents, as on the birth certificate personally. But when you think the occupier is also a military designation.
Oh, is it?
It's an occupying force.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know about the word person as well. I learned that.
It's like having a title, Mr., Mrs., Ms., whatever. That's all military. That's all military titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I never use them. I use them when I need to use them in the public meeting, but I won't use them any other time. I'm just Andy, end of.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't like when they say, you know, I'm the living woman, Yana, because they can't do anything. They can't do anything.
The way the system works is the corporation can only deal with a corporation.
Yeah.
A living man can only deal with a living man. Same with a woman. A corporation can't deal with a living man or woman. So we have to act as the representatives of the straw man and become the beneficiary. So we take control and make them the trustees. That's basically the quickest way around it. But it's the issue we've got is trying to get people to understand this, but they just want the quick fix. They want the magic document, the miracle cure, the whatever it is. And there isn't one. There is no such thing as, you know, it's been a battle, it's been a fight, but you're winning those battles and you're going to get to win the war.
Yeah. Because
you're gaining strength with everything you do. And this is where people have to understand themselves. If you don't know who you are first, don't even attempt any of these processes.
Yeah, yeah.
I see so many people getting into trouble, really do, because they just follow a group on Telegram. Do this, change this, go for that, go for that, without learning why they're doing it. And why is the question they should be asking? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, yeah. They give their power away.
Yeah, that's it. Spot on. Every single time. We have unalienable rights, inalienable rights, whatever how you want to pronounce it, when we're born. But the minute we're birthed, we gave all our rights away.
Yeah, yeah.
We want their benefits and the privilege. We want their shiny things. We want their new shoes. We want everything. A man, and I say man, including woman, obviously, a man can only own what he creates. So they took away the ability for you to make your own clothes, to grow your own food. They chopped down orchards. They chopped down everything just purely so you had to go to the supermarket.
Yeah, yeah.
They're closing down all the small shops, small homegrown shops and all this lot because they want you to go to the supermarket. So they can control you even more.
To depend on the system, because if we're not part of the system will collapse. Imagine if everyone says, no, I'm going off the grid, for example. I'm not having your shitty tomatoes from Tesco or whatever. Yeah. And the system will be gone in seconds.
I mean, I was watching something talking about food. I was watching a documentary this morning about electroculture. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's where you get a piece of wood, stick, whatever, and you wrap copper wire around it, and then you place it in the ground near where you're planting your seeds and everything, and then it's linked to another one, so you run it across the top to another pole, so you're using the Earth's magnetic field to grow, and you should see the difference in the height, the size of the food and everything. It's phenomenal, and it grows quicker. You get better taste because you're using Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, to actually grow everything because you're using the electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
I went, oh my God, something as simple as that. And because you're using Mother Earth, it keeps the moisture in the ground as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have to water it. It just sit there. Oh my God. And
Mother Nature always provides. The universe always provides. We just have to, ask for it. If you don't ask, you don't get. Look at the birds, for example. I go out for a walk. There is a canal not far from me, and I look at the birds all the time. They seem pretty happy in their own little world. Food is everywhere. They can build their own nests with what's available in nature.
Yeah, exactly. So let me think. has the animal kingdom got it right? Of course it has.
Yeah.
It's the law of the jungle. We were born into the jungle, but we live in a city. We live in what they want us to live in. We've got to learn to go back to the jungle. But if you don't know how to survive in the jungle, survival of the fittest. I mean, what's the king of the jungle as they class? Usually the lion, isn't it?
Yeah, usually.
The lion's the king of the jungle. So everything's in your face. You need to become that lion. You need to become, you need to roar. Nah, sorry, buddy.
You need to become the master of your own destiny, I suppose.
Correct.
And it is difficult. Don't get me wrong, you know, I want to separate from the system. Maybe not 100%, but to a certain degree. But until this happens, I'm going to continue to educate myself. And, you know, if I could help someone, I will.
I mean, it's like everybody says, yeah, I'm going to live off grid. Well, who owns the land?
Yeah, exactly. Who owns the land?
They do. So they're going to make life difficult. That's why they own everything 6 feet down. Because they're in the mineral rights. So it's like when they bury you, they always bury you 6 feet down because they trap your soul in no man's land.
Yeah, number 6, interesting number.
Yeah, it's always 6, isn't it?
It's always 6. Well, I watched Die Hard 4 the other night, and there's so much truth. There's so much truth in this film. It's unbelievable. I've seen it so many times. And a few months ago, I finally realized what the film is all about. And there is this guy, can't remember the actor's name. His frequency was 666. Thinking I've seen this film so many times and I've never paid attention to that frequency.
Yeah. Well, they always also turn around and say that 666 is a bad number in the movies, don't they?
Yeah, like 13, for example, as well.
Well, actually, no, it's not. It's actually a very good number because when they say it's the mark of the beast, well, we're beasts. Yeah. So it's our mark. Yeah. It's like I learned something yesterday about the cross.
All right.
Using the cross, I can't remember. We go down and then we cross like that, don't we?
Yeah.
So, when you think you're coming down from the vertical and being trapped in the horizontal.
Yes. Yeah.
So we need to invert it. And I thought, so when you see in movies again, in devil films, the cross is always upside down.
Yes. Yeah.
They said that's bad, but if you think logically, well, no, it's not, because you're coming out the horizontal and you're going up to the vertical.
Yeah.
So, well, this is a spiritual guy yesterday I was having coffee with, and he was just blowing my mind with the research he's coming out with, and I thought, wow, this is phenomenal. How the cross is basically the mast of the ship. So when they say Jesus was nailed to the cross, yes, because he's trapped in the horizontal. If you turn it upside down, it's actually going that way and up again.
Yeah.
I thought that just makes so much sense to me.
Yeah. Well, they took everything good and they turned it into something bad.
Yeah.
If you go back to 2020, when they had all these lockdowns and face mask stuff, they always happened on a specific date. There was some kind of astronomical event.
Yeah. I'm
pretty sure. I remember there was 20th or 21st of March. Then it was 20th or 21st of June. You know, summer solstice and whatever it is. I'm not too familiar with this stuff. And every time when they do something big, it's on a specific date. And I remember when Boris Johnson became a prime minister, the election was on the 13th.
Yeah.
And he had phenomenal results at the time. Whether they were, whether that was, the true results or not, I don't know. But it was on the 13th. Yeah.
It's numerology. I mean, there's a guy I'm friends with called Gary Fraud. He's written a couple of books. The first one's called Putting a Stopper in the Bottle of Death, which goes through birth certificate fraud. And it's the only book that's actually proved the birth certificate fraud. I think I've got a spare copy. I can always send you. I don't know if I've got PDF anyway. But he wrote another one, Putting a Stopper in the Numbers of Death. And it's all about numerology. And I just start reading it, and it's just blowing my head of how everything that's happened in the world is all linked to specific numbers. I sat there and went, wow.
Yeah.
It's just opening my mind to even more possibilities and other things that we can do.
Nothing is random. Nothing is random what's happening.
Yeah. There's no coincidence at all. It's all it happens for a reason. But yeah, Gary Fraun's an amazing man.
Oh, I need to look him up. I need to look up because I was looking to read something about numbers and stuff. And I did read a book a long time ago, but it was boring. I didn't like it. And you know, sometimes you can resonate with the book, sometimes you can't. And yeah, I'll look him up. I'll
send you his link, or his email address. You can just email him direct.
Are you on WhatsApp?
Sorry, me? Yeah, I'm on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll find you.
Yeah, no worries. And then what I'll do, I'll send you his email, because it is available on Amazon, whatever, for obvious reasons. But he said if you come to me, you get it's a lot cheaper. So
yeah, of course.
Send people direct to him, and it is an amazing book. The first one's even better because he puts a lot of humor into it as well, but he uncovers all what we know is going on with Disney and everything else that's going on there. But he uncovers all of that. But there's all sorts of things in there, like simple questions like, how does a bumblebee fly? And
right.
what is a marriage? What is the terminology of a marriage? What's that all about? I mean, a marriage is a horse breeding ceremony, and a bumblebee flies by using its flapping of the wings at 7.83 gigahertz to use the magnetic field to fly. It levitates. Bumblebee levitates. It doesn't fly. It uses the magnetic field to fly.
How cool is that?
The bumblebee has an empty chamber in its thorax.
Right.
So as it's flapping its little wings, it creates a vibration in harmony with Mother Earth, and that's why a bumblebee normally always takes off backwards before going forwards. It takes up the electric field and off it goes.
Can you imagine?
Evidence, in fact, on that.
And we call animal and insects stupid when we are the one.
Oh no, doing that. I mean, it's like there's another series I've been watching on Netflix, and people can criticize me if they want to, but there's a series called Ancient Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, heard of it.
I don't know if you've seen it or heard of it, but it's phenomenal because it's another one of those drip feed things that's been coming through. This guy's been they discredited him, they tried to do everything to this poor guy. But when you see what the building's at, and you think, and they say that a man in a horse and cart with a hammer and chisel created that? Really? No, he's like I said, there's evidence there's giants.
Yeah.
There's evidence of all sorts going on. He said, evidence of how do they build this? Well, they use frequency to lift the blocks and move them. And he said, it's all out there. He said, but archaeologists hide it from you.
Oh, yeah. The pyramids, I was reading a lot about pyramids a few months ago, and because something made me wonder if the pyramids were built the way we were told. And I read somewhere that there was a Japanese company, I think it was, they actually did an experiment and they tried to build the pyramids exactly the same way, exactly the same time frame, everything exactly the same. And the conclusion was, we found out that the pyramids weren't built the way we were told. It's not possible. I mean, the Colosseum in Rome, I was wondering about this too, because I've seen it twice. And it is a massive building thing, whatever's left of it. But did really humans build this? There was something that we haven't been told, you know, and that's the other thing. There's so much knowledge that was taken away from us because knowledge is power, and they don't want us.
No, exactly. I mean, there's a guy I used to follow on YouTube, but I think a lot of his videos have been taken down for obvious reasons. You Are Anon, and he did a video. The first video that ever came out he did was the lost history of flat Earth. Now, put the flat Earth bit aside.
Yeah.
But it's all about showing you how the architecture, how the hell you look at Moscow, Red Square, the ornate figure the phenomenon of the architecture.
Yeah.
But he shows photos of the Red Square. I can't remember the year, 1815 or something like that. There's no one there. There's literally nobody there, but all these buildings are beautiful. 10, 15 years later, there's people. Yeah. Where do they come from, for starters? Yeah. But they're all in horse and carts, and the roads are all mud. Now, if you built these wonderful buildings, why haven't you built a road? Do you know what I mean? So who built these? Who built the churches? And then, well, they're not even churches, they're healing centers, but they got corrupted by the Jesuit order to create religion to be able to control more people.
Yes,
they're energy centers, but they took out the energy engine so we don't get healed. This guy's video, it's still on YouTube. It's called The Lost History of Flat Earth. It's over 6 hours long, I think it is. But my God, the stuff he gives you to go away and think for yourself, to go and question history. Because as we say, he reckons we only see 2% of what's actually there.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure. I've been thinking a lot about the Bible, and I'm not a religious person anyway, but how many times has the Bible been rewritten in order to brainwash us?
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't. Jesus, I'm sure Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December.
He died. Well, he died around the 1st of April. So that's what they reckon, about 3rd of April, 33 AD or something like that is when he actually died. That's when they say 333.
Yeah.
But it's more around about 1st of April. No, I mean, when you look at Christmas, no, he wasn't born then. That's Saturnalia. That's all satanic.
Yeah.
As we know. But when you start looking into this, I was watching it again. I do watch a lot of things just to see why people get their evidence, and I'll go away and research it myself. But yeah, we've been told so many lies about certain people dying on certain days, and Jesus died here, he was resurrected here, or whatever. But yeah, it makes you realise, go with what you know, research it yourself.
And sometimes I wonder why. Do you know? I think I know why. Because we are so powerful. Mm-hmm. If we wake up and we realize they're nonsense, they're done.
Yeah.
It's the same reason they suppressed women.
Yeah.
For forever, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And now they're throwing this transgender nonsense out there.
Oh God!
Do you know what I mean? That's another thing we won't get into.
Yeah. That's another few hours of chatting about that.
But everything's out there. They're doing everything to control us, or try and control us. But unfortunately, what they did with Divok was wake a lot of people up. I mean, I say it every single time, I'm grateful for it. I'm truly grateful. If it hadn't happened, I wouldn't have met beautiful people.
Yeah.
None of us would be connecting now. None of us would be doing what we're doing now. We'd just be going along merrily with the shit show.
Yeah.
But it made us realise.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it just made us realise that there is an alternative out there.
Yeah, and
we are the alternative.
When your mindset is in that frequency, you attract that kind of people, like-minded people, because that's what I'm seeing. Because I let a lot of people go this year, friends that I've known for years, and I realized I don't want to have anything to do with these people.
Yeah, agree.
And you see, the universe is giving me new friends that actually resonate with me. And we can talk about the important things in life, not just the weather and the offers in Tesco's.
Exactly. This is it. And this is what I love. I mean, the fact that when I'm going up north or I'm going down south and I'm meeting new people all the time, it feels like you already know them.
Yeah.
And we have met each other in the past, in past lives, etc. So we all we've just been woken up to that effect. So we know these people. And that's why I shared a thing on my Facebook the day about Avatar, which I copied from someone else, about how they never say I love you, they always say I see you. And the whole thing this guy wrote out was spot on. It's very true. And then someone put on there, a comment was brilliant. They said, that explains a 7-year itch. So for 7 years, you keep going, I love you, I love you, I love you. But then after 7 years, you actually should know that man or woman inside and out. And say, yeah, I see you. And that makes a lot of sense. It's something I've been saying for a long, long time without even realising it. Especially when I look at an animal, I say, yeah, I see you. You know what I mean? It's strange how, again, things like that, we can just change it around.
Oh, yeah. Well, the whole language, English language, has been changed to serve them rather than to serve us. You know, the word person, for example, perfect example. How many words are there that have been put into the dictionary to brainwash us?
Yeah. But when you think, if you look into Black's law, a lot of the words in there is what they use against us. So, but they corrupt the English language to make us believe something else. So if you want to go into Bouvier's law dictionaries and Black's law dictionaries, a lot of the words are in there they use against us. That's their terminology, and they brainwash us to believe that's what words we should be using.
Well, we can do the same.
Of course we can.
Yeah, like you said, you know, when I don't know, for example, what happened with the estate agency and me, you know, when they keep sending me emails, and I told them, look, I want letters. This is my fee schedule. Yeah. So if I don't pay my rent, they will send me a debt collecting agency or whatever. So I can do the same with them. Nothing stops me.
Nope. That's it. That's why I say authority has the word author in it, and you are your own authority. You create your laws. You create what you want to achieve. As long as you don't cause any harm or loss or damage to anyone, then what's the problem?
Exactly. And I'm just having fun. And people should have fun. This is how you should look at it. You know, it's just fun to play with the system. It's like playing a game.
If you don't have fun, then you can be miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the fear creeps in, and then you get yourself in a lower vibration. So this is why the new group I am setting up is purely based around not so much the legal stuff, which is most important for a lot of people, but it's going to be more spiritual based as well.
Yeah.
So people helping people understand their journeys, healers coming in, people helping people with medicines coming in. The whole idea of I am is going to be that, to create the proper community that we need. There's too much tourism out there.
Yeah, I can get involved in that because I know that the key to success is to let go of fear and to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, I don't want to say that we can't beat the system, but just play with it.
Yes. A lot of people say to me, yeah, we're going to bring it down. We're going to bring it down. Really? In over 2,000 years, no one's brought it down.
Yeah.
So you're saying because there's a couple of million people marching through London, you're going to bring the system down? In my view, no, it's never going to happen. Their system is nigh on perfect. We've got to learn to live with it, but play outside the game, and play the game better. That's what it is. It's a game.
Yeah. Do you think? I think someone mentioned something about this on one of your Zoom calls. Do you think energy suppliers in the council are changing their terms and conditions because they realize that people are waking up?
Yes.
Right.
I said it the other day. I think it's like Trent and I said it on one of my Zooms to someone the other day as well, that all these public groups have been going out there saying, do this, do this, do this, do this. That all the energy companies sat back and gone, there, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So they've changed the rules.
Because sometimes when I read posts on Facebook about how people, you know, deal with things, and I'm thinking this can't be real. Someone is infiltrating. I think someone is infiltrating the post, but seriously, just to create fear amongst people.
I look, you know my view. I look at anybody who's out there publicly saying, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. The first question you need to ask is why?
Yeah.
And ask yourself, why am I doing this? Yeah. What benefit is going to have? Because I look at a lot of these groups, and I've been called out on lots of them. I really have. I've been called every name and stuff. It doesn't bother me because that's just their egos running.
Yeah.
But if it's in the public domain, who's sitting back there and just listening to everything you're doing, and they're just rubbing their hands with it? Now we know what they're doing. We're going to change our strategy.
Yeah.
So it's like in the war, you wouldn't go and pick up the phone to say, excuse me, Mr. Hitler, we're just going to let you know we're going to invade Dunkirk today. You're not going to tell him that. You keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
This is where, unfortunately, I find, yes, we need to get the information out, but it's going to be done through networking with ourselves. I give you something, you go and tell someone else, whatever. It's like the old resistance of the war, if you want to put it that way. We have to work better. I wouldn't say smarter, because smart is not a word we want to use. Because I always remember my mum used to say, that's going to leave much, going to smart in it. It's pain. Smart means pain.
Is this what it means? I read something about this because I published a blog post not long ago. I called it work smarter or work harder, because you know I know what it means, smarter and harder.
Go on.
But I didn't know that smart has a different meaning.
So basically what it means, it's the old, I've just got it up on the screen. Smart, the vowel means, or the verb, sorry, Old English smearten, to be painful, from Proto-Germanic smarter, also of Middle Dutch smerten, etc., which means pain. The adjective means painful, severe, stinging, causing a sharp pain.
Bloody hell.
So when they're saying they want to create smart cities,
that's what they mean.
New terminology, they use the acronym SMART for surveillance, monitor, whatever it is, but smart city is going to create you more pain.
Oh, right. So what's the alternative to smart the way we know it then?
The way I use it is just being clever.
Right. I might have to change a couple of things. on my blog because it sounds really good. Works
Yeah.
harder, works
Clever
smarter.
basically means being handy, dexterous, having special manual abilities. And the
Right.
meaning of nurses, but clever is also used to mean well-shaped, attractive. Okay, we'll go down that one. But it's basic, perhaps influenced by Old English, etc. But Norwegian dialect, but extension to intellect is first recorded by using the word clever.
Right.
So a better word to use.
Mm. Good to know. God, there's so many things we don't know. It's just unbelievable. So many things.
How they've corrupted us.
Oh yeah, and that's generations. It's not just my generation. It's,
lifetimes.
Yeah.
Previous lives, everything. This is why when people say, "Oh, I'm suffering with traumas," it's not just what's happened this time. It's hundreds of years behind.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
ingrained into your DNA.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, I've said this to you before, every human being on this planet has to do inner child healing because it's just we have been so programmed. It's
Oh God, yeah, 100%. That's what I've been doing a lot of work myself. I said to Jen the other day, I woke up on the 27th. I had a couple of really sort of emotional days over Christmas, as you do. And I woke up on the 27th. I just thought, do you know what? I am powerful. I am worthy of all this gratitude people give me. Do you know, it just suddenly, light bulb moment just clicked.
Yeah.
And just things have changed ever since then. Things are happening for me in a better way. I thought, yeah, I am worthy. And that's why I think the group I am is going to be so successful for people, because I am are the two most powerful words we can use.
That is true. That is true. Andy, it's been over an hour. Do you want to carry on? Yeah.
Well, I need to jump off in a bit because I've got quite a lot I need to catch up on. So another one we could do as a regular.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice chat, actually.
It was.
Yeah.
It was great. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. I've been meaning to get back to my YouTube to recording, but don't know. I don't feel 100% ready for it. And I like to record outside, and it's pretty cold here, so that's my excuse for now.
Yeah, I just look outside as well. Oh, it's chucking it down rain. The wind's blowing. I thought, yeah, it's one of those days.
How do you heat your van?
Sorry?
How do you heat your van?
I have a diesel heater.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's topped up. They're quite economical. It runs really well. Only takes about 15, 20 minutes to warm the van up.
Okay, that's good then.
But it's not too bad. But yeah, I'll have it back on the road next Wednesday.
Oh,
great.
yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Right, shall I stop recording then?
Yeah, stop recording. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for today.
Oh no, God, that was such a nice chat. And this is what I did you stop recording?
Yeah, it's stopping it. Okay. Thanks, folks, for listening in. Say goodbye to everyone.